Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about.
Hey folks, this is David with Polk Sporting Clays. I want to take a minute and talk to you a little bit about the Quigley, its origins, where it's been, where it's going, and what we're going to do this time. Mark Smith started at Tenor Rock somewhere, I can prove as far back as 2001 at this time. I'm not sure that that was the very first Quigley. It might have been in 2000 or 99, but the NSCA records don't go back that far anymore. His idea on building the Quigley was using the Marine Officers Training Course known as the Quigley in Quantico, Virginia. It was supposed to be the worst place you could imagine. So he designed a sporting clays course around the worst that you could imagine. At Tenor Rock, he actually had a creek, much like they used in Quantico. We don't have a creek here. We do have a pond. It's kind of dry.
Did he have snakes and all the stuff that are in the article about?
And I believe there was live fire over your head while you navigated those snakes.
It was pretty awful.
Yes. So the whole premise was, let's do it in August, September, when it's really hot. Let's make it a 100-bird contest. Let's only give first place awards. And let's make the targets just crazy. Crazy, stupid, happy, fast, slow, wrong insertion point, gun hold, everything that you can imagine, and make it really hard. So I took the time, I got Junior to print all the scores off from 2001 until now. I thought I'd just go over with you winners and what the scores were from 01 till now. And then along in there, we'll interject some other things. 2001 was won by Steve Nelson with an 82, runner-up, shot a 75, and that was David Jones. My daddy actually shot in the 2001 Quigley. He shot a 29. I shot in B class, won B first with a 61. My daddy said to me, son, this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. I would never shoot at an animal this far. He never shot the Quigley again. 2002 was won with a 73. Runner-up, nope, 2002 was won with a 74. It was out of AA class, Chris Walker. Preston Angel took second, runner-up with a 73. 2003 was won with a 72, Ed Welch. 2004 was Steve Nelson again with a 66. And just to give you an idea of the spread, runner-up broke a 54. That was Cliff Fuller. 2005, Herbie Kansky broke 77. Roger Hatfield, out of AA again, runner-up, 75. 2007, Brad Kidd took high overall with a 72. And Kevin Stone, out of AA again, shot a 68 for runner-up. And also on most of the ones we looked through so far, the low score was a 26. I can't prove that there was a 2006. 2008, J.B. Croft won that event with a 53. Runner-up was two other people that tied, Jim Bowers and Bob Jones with a 52. AA high scoring it was a 51. A class, Doug Cox, imagine that. In 2008, Doug Cox shot the Quigley in A class. He won A first with a 36. 2009, high score was a 57. Three people shot a 57. Kevin Stone, Eric Stafford, and none other than Mr. Rollins Brown. AA2 happened to be myself with a 56. So we had three 57s, a 56, and a 55 for high scores in 2009. And again, the low score of a 26. 2011, Doug Cox won 2011. I think 2011 was the first year that Jim and I set the targets at Tenor Rock for the Quigley. I think Mark skipped it in 2010, and in 2011, me and Jim set the targets. And they were obviously easier because Mr. Cox took champion with an 87, and now he's already in master class. A couple years ago, he was just in A. 2012, I wanted to make one other note about 2011. Keith Holland shot a 54 in C class in 2011. 2012, Keith Holland won the event in master class with a 66. Low score of a 23.
Like you practice.
Practiced a lot. You got to throw a lot of money at this game.
His beard was probably growing during that time.
Actually, he was bald-faced.
Was he bald? Really?
Absolutely. So 2012 was the last year that we actually held tournaments at Tenorock. The state took over, started doing their own thing, and we skipped a year, I believe, and then we left from there and went to Lakeland Rifle and Pistol. And Lakeland Rifle and Pistol was situated in such a fashion that there wasn't really enough room to make a Quigley. So it never entered our minds to try to get it back. Along about 2019, we took over this place in late in 18. Somewhere along in 19, I asked Mr. Smith if we could take on his namesake and try to carry on the tradition of the Quigley. So that's where we're at now. 2019, Chris Beal won the first ever Quigley at these grounds, Polk Sporting Clays, with a 56. Runner-up was, again, Keith Holland, masterclass, and he lost to Chris by 1 bird. Low score on this one was a 13. So that's a rundown of how the scores look. Keith's been snickering. We're going to take a different approach to this Quigley. 2020, we didn't hold it because of all that stuff going on. This year, we're going to take a different approach. Doug set all the targets for 19. I'm going to set 4 stations. We haven't decided if it's going to be 10 or 12 yet, but we're going to split it up into 3s. I'm going to set 4, Keith's going to set 4, and Brett McCraney's going to set 4. We'll all have a little input, but primarily there's going to be one guy dedicated to 4 stations. If we keep it at 12. If we drop it down to 10, we'll figure all that out, but it's still going to be split up into 3rds. Keith's idea of this Quigley is that probably 58 is going to be high. I'd like to see it more in the realm of 65. So if I have any input on that, that's what's going to happen. But we'll see how it goes. We decided we'd like to try to make this shoot a big shoot and maybe turn it into a 2-day event later on. So we decided we're going to throw $2,000 at the pot. HOA, $500. Runner-up, $250. We're going to pay $100 to first place in every class. We're going to pay $70 to second place in every class. And instead of giving out the K-bars and not doing a PM event like last year, we decided to do a PM event, and we're going to give away the K-bars for that. So master through E-class, first place K-bars on the PM event. We're doing everything we can to have trappers. Right now we've got confirmed 4. We're working on 8 more. I think we're going to work out trappers for the AM event. That'll level the playing field for everybody. And it should be a good time. You got to leave your feelings at home. You're going to miss. Some of us are going to miss a lot. And just try to hit everything that you can, because every one of those targets that you break on a course like this is going to be to your advantage. It ain't about how many you miss. It's about how many you actually hit. So come on out, join us, August 28th. We're going to kick it off. We'll be down here registering at 8 o'clock. We've already exceeded expectations at this point. There's still 2 weeks left to go. It's $74 for the AM event, $35 for the PM event. Lunch is included. I'm not sure how lunch is going to work yet because the FFA is having a few issues. We may end up catering it in, but either way, we're going to have a great lunch. It's going to be a great day, and we're going to have a good time. Come on out and join us.